Welcome to this segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is brought to you by BeSimply.
Stars, trees, clouds, and the moon. They all have a meaning and they look just like you.
This segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is a Soul and Luna cycle. We are going to be sipping up the full moon's medicine. It became full yesterday, Sunday, and about 3:17 a.m., according to West Coast time on the North American continent. And I want to thank you all for being here. And we're going to dive in. So this was kind of fun because the way my yesterday was, I did not have the space to record or early record, so I kind of liked it. This may be a habit, we'll see, because it gave me a chance to really do a deeper dive on the actual day that the moon became full in my dreaming practice. So right now, I'm sure everyone and anyone out there is feeling things. There's a lot of things that have been flying up, chaos everywhere, and it's hard to ground sometimes in chaos. However, chaos is exciting. It's not sustainable for a long period of time. It suggests that there's a reorganization happening on a universal level. So while a lot of the chaos that is happening is constructed by we'll say humanity, not the group of us that are the majority, but an aspect of humanity that is the minority, actually. They're a small group. And so that chaos, part of it's created, manufactured by them. However, in every given moment, there's something greater happening that most cannot fathom. And we are working through this moment. So that long lead in is just to share that if you can lean into the potential of the reorganization on a cosmic level, a universal level, that will give you a little bit more wonderment, discovery, activating your imagination, seeing beyond what is. And so with these lunar musings, they have nothing really to do with astrology. As I mentioned before, astrology, everything on this planet has been a manipulation. And so that reorganization I'm speaking of is about that, like that things have to reorganize to actually be in harmony with what is, with the ecosystem and where we're at. And so as that happens, many people will maybe resist it and other people will flow with it, see it as an opportunity, all of that. So with that being said, this reorg, if you will, has a lot to do with what's been called out, and it came up in a session with a client today. You'll know who you are when you're listening to this, about false idols. And so if you're practicing Christianity, you might reflect on this as a verse in the Bible, as meaning all other religions are bad and only my God is good. And I'm not trying to be cheeky, but I am, because that's not what it means at all. So false idols are everything that we put up on a pedestal. And within faith practice, it doesn't mean that people's other faiths are wrong and yours is right. I was raised Christian. So understand that there are billions of people in this world system practicing different forms of faith, all with similar intent, and we'll get there. So right now, this isn't about shaming and blaming and casting judgment. And maybe I shouldn't be so sassy, but it gets oppressive a little when people are telling you you're doing things wrong, right? You want to know what you can do, not what you shouldn't do. So with this reflection from the full moon, which is still amped up right now, it's an opportunity for you to really evaluate in your life, whether it be in faith, whether it be in science, whether it be in nature, whether it be with pop culture, the things that you idolize. And this is how humanity has been misled, is through putting idols, aka false gods, up to distract. And so also, for those of you that might be practicing Christians and don't or have not studied other faiths, you will understand that the deities that exist in many Eastern faiths are not idolized at all. That's not the intent. They are teachers, and the teachings within those deities are to help one become a better human being, aka kind, compassionate, altruistic, in service. So that can give you a lens. And Christianity in itself has a full spectrum of views, and some are a little bit more go with the flow, and other ones are very strict. So we will get to theology towards the end of this musing, but this is right now we are being asked because there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of chaos going on, and so this is a time that you want to have your eyes wide open and objective, really starting to see things. And for those of you that have been quote unquote awake, you're going through a deeper remembering right now of your origination and where you're from. In addition, it's really important that you keep your awakeness observing, because things will begin to look more and more ridiculous, more and more almost fake. Like, why? It'll feel like an Austin Powers movie where, wow, people believe this? Like, wow, because you're seeing it clearly. And so for those of you that are not quote unquote awake yet or beginning to awaken, you have plenty of brothers and sisters around to help you with the process, and you'll start to see even more clear. And so as we open our eyes, it's important kind of to make peace with that which you've idolized internally and externally. And for all those people that have an extreme level of narcissistic traits out there, this will be a very humbling time for you to really get over these little idols you've made within yourself, to humble down. The reason for this is that when we idolize anything, it does two things. It distracts us from our great work, and it actually puts us grasping towards something external versus internal. And when we grasp at something external, we are taken out of our present moment, because more than not, those external objects, people, places, and things that we're grasping towards are not physically around us in a dimensional density state. So it becomes a distraction from actually doing your best here in the present moment. So when you're like, okay, and then you just start seeing those beings as just regular people or space aliens or whatever you're starting to realize that they might be, that's fine. Just bring them down side by side, hanging out, Star Wars bars here, just hanging out with each other, being to being. And you know what? And see what happens when you start to stop getting distracted from something external as your point of inspiration or attachment. These idols were all put there to distract each and every one of us. And like I said, it's not just within faith. So big misinterpretation in the Bible. And for those that didn't understand the parable there, I encourage you to reread it and evaluate within your faith where there are false idols. That could be your pastor, your priest. It could be someone that's an evangelist within your community. These false idols are everywhere, and they don't have to be on a pop media or an influencer on social media, they can be in your immediate communities, and you might really hold and value them. And that's fine to value people or be inspired by people, but you don't want to idolize them. It's not a healthy type of relationship. That's why that narcissistic word that people have become very familiar with has really risen up, because people have started to idolize each other in different ways and themselves during this passage here on the earth plane. So from there, this open eye observation of one another is really important, because it allows one to see what is. So when we have the distraction, the ideology, the arguing between political parties, through what's popular now, through music, through pop culture, through sports, whatever it might be, through different ways of farming, all of those things become the distraction. And then to look and see, like, what's really happening here. And sometimes, more than not, the pendulum swings one way and then it starts to swing back the other way, sometimes too hard. But we're really in this balancing stage where we're coming to center. And if consciousness is, or when consciousness rises up for our collective consciousness, that's what happens. It comes to center, so the dualistic, the polarity isn't so extreme, so we can focus here in the present moment to really make efforts towards that which we're co-creating, and with greater awareness. And as we shift our observations, not buying into the smoke and mirrors, then this helps our brothers and sisters out there that are not awake yet. They start to see things. If a bunch of us are looking at something and we see it for what it is, and I'll explain that in a second, but the other people can't see it yet, then it starts to help them open their eyes and see through yours. There's the ability, because we're broadcasting at all times, and so they're able to see. So as you go through this process of opening your eyes and being present, and seeing what is. So what is? So as I mentioned earlier, if something's external, especially in faith, because faith is what? It's a belief system based on maybe studying a scripture, an ideology, whatever it might be, and then you're not able to interface with it, meaning you're not able to walk in a room and have a come to Jesus with JC or a come to Jesus with Buddha. It's something that's not able to interact with. And there are skills and layers to that, to interact with the unseen realm to the seen realm. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but there are really important steps to get to a place where you're discerning. So we're going to keep it simple. You don't have to worry about anything you can't see. Fantastic. All you're going to worry about, or not worry, but be present with, is that which is manifesting in and around you. So anything that you can physically touch and someone else can touch, like I picked up this paperweight on my desk. It's a certain shape. And if another person was here with me right now, they could affirm that this weighs this much. They could look at it too. I could take a picture and show you all. You could affirm too. So once people start to see what is, they can all corroborate that this is actually something that's happening. Now, let's say we have someone in the room and they're seeing this paperweight, but to them, all of a sudden, it looks like a mongoose. For whatever reason, their mind is wired for a moment in a delusion that this is a mongoose. It's not a mongoose, it's a paperweight, and it has a specific shape. So what would happen is, if me and this other person that could see it for what it is would hold that attention, and the third person saw it as a mongoose, over a period of space with us in the room, they would eventually see it in its true form. If not, then that's an indicator that they're in a delusion and need to work on seeing reality for what it is, not going off into their imaginative space and making it be whatever they want because it sounds like a good idea or fun. And this is so important in this phase, as we are having so many reveals about the manipulations of reality, that you can start seeing things for what they are. It is a humbling time. And sometimes it's like, oh, like it's sad because the people, if we go back to the idolization, the people we admired or idolized were like, whoa, wow, oh, ah. But you can still, those individuals that maybe became that still have or had a heart in the beginning. And so I would encourage you just to relate that to them. Like, okay, we're now all together in that Star Wars bar, if you've seen Star Wars, and we might all look a little different than each other. However, we can potentially find a point to relate to one another or not, because now when we have the what is, we can start to discern where we want to put our attention, who we want to interact with, and how we want to shape our quantum field together. This is really important. So, one, identifying the things you idolize in your life currently. Bring them down to even playing field. No one is better than you. No one is greater than you. And in fact, especially in theology and faith, that individual or individuals, or even that which is in any scriptures that you read for contemplation and enriching your soul, is best to be bestowed upon in a humble fashion, not an egoic, powerful fashion. And you'll notice in your being if you're hungry for power or if you're ready to soften that gaze and meet it humbly. If you don't have a faith, that's fine. Go out in nature and commune that way. You will get more answers than not from Mother Nature. Very powerful. So you find the idols in your life, whether they're theological based or in your immediate life. I would say for the majority of humanity, the idols are in and around you in culture. And then from there, bringing them down to an even playing field, just really discern what you admire about them rather than keep going to them to idolize. Just be like, oh, they gave me this wisdom, they represent this, and integrate what that wisdom is. And maybe it's a goal you want to achieve. Maybe it's you're a musician and this person you really look up to because of their skill and their craft and their songwriting. Great. Then you are using them as inspiration, not to idolize like they're better than you because they're on a stage in front of 100,000 people. They're just a normal person that goes to the bathroom just like you or I. From there, once you've identified your idols, bring them to even playing field. And then from there, start to commit to seeing reality that's around you for what it is. It's going to become increasingly difficult on these devices to discern what is real and what's not, especially for those that are in North America entering into propaganda season. It's good. I would just swipe quickly. I really wouldn't even bother taking any political propaganda in, because that's what it is. It's meant to create false idols and to manipulate your emotional system. Remember, per our ancestors, we are the ones we're waiting for. No political talking head is going to solve anything. I think we've proven that, especially here in the United States, that our system is broken. So we are ready and exciting in this chaos, ready to imagine and build a system that works for the people, by the people. Then from there, once you have identified your idols, you've decided to observe reality as it is and check yourself. You'll notice when you're trying to trick yourself. This can be for a lot of reasons, and if you want to know more about that, reach out. Notice where you're tricking yourself. Bring yourself back to objective reality. You can even check in with someone and say, hey, what do you see here? Can you give me some feedback? Great way to open up conversation. Then from there is to love here, meaning that within all aspects of society, the thing that makes us humanity so special is we have the capacity to love and hold compassion and empathy for one another. And we have the ability to imagine and create. So this is really, really profound. It's a gift. And this is why in some of the Eastern traditions, they want each and every one of you to acknowledge how precious your human life is, to give gratitude for it, give gratitude for the body that you were given, and to work with it, not against it, meaning don't talk negative to yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't try to change yourself. Be who you are via your temple, your Ferrari that your mama made for you, regardless of if you're comfortable completely with it. But I promise you, if you start really giving gratitude for what you received, it will go a long way. And really that will help your physical form feel more supple to you, that you can honor it. And then you'll start to discover the treasures, like, oh, wow, I was like, this gives me so much perspective. You know, as I mentioned, I'm short. I like being short. A lot of people don't like short people, which is interesting. But it's like, maybe I was really tall in another moment in space. And guess what? This gives me that perspective that, wow, this is pretty cool. You know, a lot of people idolize tall people, right? That's an idol. So bring it down, and get really clear. So the uniqueness is that we can love, we're compassionate, we can hold equanimity for one another. Do we always do it? Absolutely not. However, we can if we choose. And so if you choose to be this, that's all you have to worry about, is cultivating love. And so within any faith that you're practicing, I'm pretty sure, because I've been connected to many different faiths, I've studied faiths, I practice faiths, is that there's a component of love. However, if you discover within your faith it is designed to harm a group of people based on superiority to another faith, you want to, I would say, check yourself. Really sit with that. Sit with it. And then see where it goes. You have to discover that. No one can tell you what to do. You have to discover that and decide what feels resonant within yourself, because it won't feel comfortable if it's not aligned with where your soul is in its eternal journey. The reason maybe you were planted into certain organizations or systems within all that's available to us is for you to really figure out what it feels like on a soul level, not to feel aligned. It's easy for us humans, just without connecting to our wayfinder within us, that it's easy for us to get duped even more and more. So simple practice. This is what's leading in for us through the remainder of this lunar cycle, is to get clear on this. It's not to say in a couple weeks you're going to be all squared away with identifying those things that you've held on a false pedestal. But it's a starting point to start to recognize it and to really soften your gaze, see what is in and around you so that you can grow from there. And then as you do that, it's like so exciting, because life gets a lot simpler when you're able to discern and see beyond what has been put in front of you, especially through the main pieces. If you go to like a main news organization, you'll see all the tabs in which they manipulate each and every one of us with programming. Just look across. It's from anything that you like, they try to do it, whether the intent is to sell you something, whether the intent is to confuse you. However, super exciting. We are the change makers for this moment and can start to have more ethics around what we impose on one another and how we do that. So it's for the benefit of all. So with that being said, we're going to go into this meditation and bring yourself into an upright, seated position. And then taking a nice deep breath in and exhale out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Another one, inhale. And exhale. And as you continue to follow your breath, bring yourself to a soft gaze down in front of you, a focal point. And just follow that focus and breath as we dive into the silent portion of this segment.
be seen. It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Listen, it cannot be seen. It is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot seen, it is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard, it is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Listen, it cannot be seen, it is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard, it is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. yet cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down.
And gently from there, I welcome you to gently lean back and recline or move fully into Shavasana, a prone position on your back with your palms facing upward as we transition into receiving sound. As you settle in, just take a nice gentle breath into the heart and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then continue to follow your natural breathing pattern. Taking a soft, gentle breath in and out of your heart center. Gently breathing in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Another one, inhale. And exhale. And then gently from there, when you're ready, you're going to rise up into a seated position. Being mindful to bring up your head last. And then taking another deep breath in. And out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. And then gently from there, following your breath in and out. Welcoming you to just take a moment to express silent gratitude for all aspects of yourself. Taking another deep breath in. And out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you to just be for a moment and allow all of that to wash over you. And I want to remind you that even within the beginning to here, that it's really, I'm from an oral teaching tradition. So it's meant to wash over you, and that which is to stay will, and that's ready to blossom will, and that which is not to be remembered will drop away, fall away like leaves to a river. So in this moment, I just want to encourage you to find love here. Find the love in the room with you. And then practice seeing what is. And where you feel there is something that's a smoke and mirror, look away. Or see beyond it to see what really is. And with that, I want you all to remember that you have access to divinity within each and every one of you, that you are divine love. And you can choose to express it. And a key way to do that is to remember and recognize some of your innate gifts. They're all unique to you. and take the space to practice and work on those gifts daily. Some of them will be easier than others, and there's a reason for that, and we'll share that another time. With that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you once again for being here. I want to thank Dante Marino, Kadri Scott, and Random Rab for your contributions. And we're going to be exiting out with little Kadri Scott. I want to encourage you all to support the arts anywhere that you are inclined to. All creative expressions are needing support, and you, the people, have the power if you choose to tap into that. All right, have a beautiful day. With that being said, a deep bow, a soft gaze, a gentle smile, and a namaste. Be simply.
The way your eyes feel on me makes me feel alright, and the way your mind dreams for me grabs me and holds me tight. So we dance along the Milky Way and stumbled on the stars and sway till the morning it comes. So I held my faith in nothing above and prayed this wasn't love, like I fell for the sun. So will you meet me in fields of flowers and pass the hours away? And I wanna see you lay down your power, kiss the moonlight and pray. And if your mind's not there, then baby tell me what's in the air. The way my eyes look for you, it keeps me up at night. And the way my mind swirls for you, does it grab you and hold you tight? Tell me, baby, can we dance along the Milky Way and stumble on the stars and sway till the morning it comes? So I held my faith in nothing above and prayed this wasn't love, like I fell for the sun. So will you meet me in fields of flowers and pass the hours away? And I wanna see you lay down your power, kiss the moonlight and pray. And if your mind's not there, then baby tell me what's in the air. What do you see? How do you perceive? And what does that leave? I want it all. Let's pass the time, crossing lines, but can you define? Do you want it all? Now where's your mind? Where does it hide? Now go and find it. You want it all. So will you meet me in fields of flowers and pass the hours away? I wanna see you lay down your power, kiss the moonlight and pray. And if your mind's not there, then can you tell me what's in the air? Oh yeah, oh yeah, the way your eyes feel on me makes me feel alright, and the way your mind dreams for me grabs me and holds holds me tight.